Okay, this is the last video on evaluating limits in our limit unit, although you might be surprised how the limits show up again. So, right here we have a very, very fundamental question that we'll start off with. We'll kind of use those for every video, but most of the videos from now on are going to be maybe just one question. And so the question we're asking ourselves is, the limit as x approaches infinity for 1 over x. And so this might seem strange. You might think, well, it's just 1 over infinity. Well, the issue with that is, like I said in our original video, the first video on limits, something with infinity in it doesn't actually exist. And so for that reason, we can't say it's 1 over infinity. But we can do this. What if we divide 1 by 10? We'll get 1/10. Well, what if we make x get even closer to infinity? How about 1 over 1,000? It's a pretty large number. Well, we're just going to get 1/1000th. Much smaller, not negative, much smaller. Well, what if we divide 1 by 1,000,000? Oh, missed a 0. 1,000,000. Okay, 1/1,000,000th. Very, very small numbers. And so we need to remember that infinity is a not real number that exists so far down the number line that if we divide 1 by infinity, what we're going to get is 0. Big goose egg, as they might say in some sports terminology, if you're into that. But we really need to pound this into our heads, because we're going to use this among various other limit laws to evaluate our other limits. So, limit as x approaches infinity for 5x squared minus, I'm not going to spell it all out for you guys, you can see it there. Speaking of it, I do apologize, the last video, I realized the top limit, you couldn't actually see the entire thing, but I hope it was still understandable what I was doing. Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to do a special trick. And so what we're going to do is, you might notice that we have an x squared term and an x squared term on our top and bottom. And what's happening there is they are the highest power. And so, what if we divided by 1 over x squared? Well, we're going to get, or divide top and the bottom, so it's the same thing. We get limit as x approaches infinity for 5 plus 8 over x plus 1 over x squared divided by 4 plus 2 over x minus 2 over x squared. And so I'll give you guys a little tip here. 1 over x squared is also going to equal 0, since this number is just going to get even bigger. It's going to approach 0 quicker. But what we're going to get is, we're going to get 0, 0, 0, and 0. And so what it's going to equal is 5 over 4. Finally, we're just going to rush right into this one. Sine x as we get to infinity. That's a funny one. Well, we draw sine x. It's just going to constantly go up and down from 1 to -1 and everything in between it. So what's going to happen is, it's not going to approach anything asymptotically. So what we're going to get? So we're going to get does not exist. I'll get rid of these equal sign. Bad for that, I know. But that's all there is to limits. So great job, guys. That's limits.